Many of UI/UX designers, after getting tasks from company, they directly start with designs without doing some important steps. A good and attractive UI designs are alone not sufficient to grab the offer. There are many steps behind it. Let's look deep into the secret strategy of me getting 5 job offers. There are 5 important steps which I follow generally. The first step is read the problem statement. I know this is simple, but this is so crucial as well. Initially what I do is I just skim the problem statement without looking at the requirements properly. Like if I see the calendar app, then I would directly start with the calendar app design without thinking much. But whenever I followed this approach, I ended up in failure. It was like a disaster. I can't move forward with the next round. But this happened mainly because of my anxiety. Whenever I read the problem statement with anxiety, I am not getting the requirements properly. I realized that I want to get rid of anxiety. But the next time when I got the problem statement, even though I'm reading with anxiety, until I get clear with the requirements, I read it again and again, even it goes 100 times. After getting all requirements, I take a notebook and I pen it down in the form of keywords so that I make sure that all points mentioned in the problem statement are covered in my design. Second important step which I do is research about the product. This is the most important phase because if you are not knowing the product, you can't design at all. So I try to understand the product more clearly. For example, if I am designing for a customer support agent dashboard, then I try to understand the things around the customer support agent. What they actually do in the organization, what are the things they do to resolve the customer queries, and I try to understand the peculiar terms associated with them. For example, disposition is a term associated with the customer support agent. I try to understand those types of terms so that I can design better and I can deliver the good product. And I try to ask questions like what, how, etc. to get more clarity on the product. And moreover, I analyze competitors as well, which is the most important step, and I try to find their weak points, which gives more insights to me rather than all other things. And moreover, I make sure that I'm not leaving any doubts left uncleared about the product. At last, what I do is I will check out for references in Dribble, patents, awards, etc. So this is how my research phase ends. I hope this gives clarity to you as well and you follow this approach so that you design better. Third step which I follow is to design low-fat wireframes. Initially, I would make a very rough low-fat wireframes which I couldn't understand myself. But when days went on, I could really understood the importance of how low-fat wireframes can actually help in our design process. I try to note down every point in the low-fat wireframes itself, and if I'm feeling something I missed out, I would design the screen itself where I'm designing the low-fat. So I have a mindset that if I'm done with the low-fat, I can easily go on with the next process very easily. And I'm damn sure that you will also gradually develop a mindset that low-fat wireframes can actually solve the problems if you watch this video completely. And I make sure that every point which is mentioned in the problem statement are covered in my low-fat itself. And if I got a task to complete within 2 days, I would dedicate a day entirely for research on low-fat wireframe itself, and the next day I would proceed with the high-fat screens. You also try to follow this approach, you would succeed definitely. Fourth step, design final screens. Now I'm done with the biggest headache, which is user experience part. Now I can sit comfortably and proceed with the UI designs. Before proceeding with the UI designs, I will try to get some inspiration by referring Dribble, Pinterest, Awards, UI8, UX Pin, etc. After getting all inspiration, I try to fix one style in my mind and I try to proceed with that. I will be more appropriate in choosing the color palette and I try to bring some uniqueness to my design so that it stands out from other designs. Fifth step which I follow is deliver my deliverables. I have seen many of UX designers after completing the task, they would just summarize the screens just like that, but don't do that. Whatever the deliverables has to in your problem statement, try to deliver those deliverables in time. For example, they would have asked for user flow, information architecture, user journey, so try to do all this and summarize the task on time. And if you're feeling satisfied after you're done with the task, then the result will be surely yours. Trust me. Finally, what I would like to say is, focus more on user research part and then low-fat wireframe part rather than high-fat design screens. Because if you are done with the research well, then you could actually deliver a very good product. Because nowadays clients are actually looking for a solution to a problem rather than a good-looking problems. So try to focus on user experience rather than user interface. I hope this video would have helped in some way. So if you like the video, hit the subscribe button and share it with your friends as well. Happy learning, happy learning. Bye guys, see you on the next video. Until then, signing off, Surakshmi.